Welcome to the Daily Crew number 6, your source for unimportant information. We were all just getting a good laugh because we were unloading some boxes, and Amanda just really bit it. She was carrying this box in, and thankfully she seems okay about it.
I'm okay.
We were a little bit worried at first. Describe in your own version of what happened.
Okay. I was carrying the box and I was trying to go
We
around.
could put a video.
We can play the video.
Here's the video right here.
Yeah. And I kind of touched myself and I tripped again, but the box was so tall it caught my face and my knee took it.
And I turned away, and like my jaw and my heart, like all the floor, like, oh my God, what's going on? And Ben just starts busting up jokes, like right off the bat. What's the one you said? Looks like your face took a bit out.
Yeah. Well, we're short of Ben now. We're short of Ben now. I honestly didn't think you were going to come out of that the way you went into it.
Yeah.
I thought there would be a lot more blood. There wasn't. Which is
That was something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
All right.
That's logic defining.
Back to the topic at hand. So episode number 6, we got Tyler, Ben, and Amanda, the Daily Crew. And what is our first topic of today, Ben?
The first topic is, okay, so you now own Disney. What is the first thing you do? I feel like this is hard because, like, what does Disney not do right? Like, they do everything right. So what would I do? Like, I feel like that's a hard thing because, like, I don't think Disney does anything wrong, but I don't know.
I think they do a lot wrong, but they make sure the good outweighs the, like they made Song of the South.
Yeah.
You know, like a Whistle While You, that was Whistle While I Work, that was a Zippity Doo-Dah, like on like a, kind of like a slave. So they do wrong sometimes.
Oh, I would pay Scarlett Johansson $50 million. Just so.
I thought they did.
Did they? Did they? Or
I thought they settled or something.
They settled.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know what they settled on. I don't know if it was $50 million or something a little less. I don't know if they went halfway in the middle or something. But like, to be on good terms with Scarlett Johansson, I'm giving her whatever she wants. You know?
Is that as a movie maker or as a male or both? Just kidding.
Both.
Oh.
Both. You heard it here.
I love her too.
You heard it here, and also I think she's a good actress. She gets a lot of hate, which I feel like is not warranted. I feel like she's really good.
She's a pretty good
And
actress.
she's good to put in any kind of blockbuster role, like superhero film and stuff like that. And you want to work with her again. And also, you want to put out you don't want to put out a bad vibe for other people that are going to be on your projects. You want to work with the most talented people in the world. Don't make them upset.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that Disney seems to value most is the brand.
Yeah.
You know, like, what do people think of when they think of Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But what I do, so it's a public corporation. I don't know what the market share is, but a lot. So you'd be richer than Jeff Bezos on paper, and is there a whole lot of control over a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
So it opens up a whole lot of doors.
Right. Yeah, that is. I don't know. Maybe make another Disney World where it's geography, where it's located for easier people to access, so you don't have to go to Orlando, Florida.
Well, they pick those that got year round though.
Yeah,
In Chicago,
that's
half the
true.
year it's intolerable.
That is true, but I was like, man, I'd like to take my family to, Disney World someday, but I don't want to have to go all the way to,
You can go to
drive.
Disneyland too.
You go to
I mean, it's farther
Disneyland. That's
for
in
us,
California,
but-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, man, is there like a way they can put it in like, I don't know where would be like Tennessee,
Texas.
Texas, Tennessee, somewhere with still has a warm climate, but it is closer for the people that live in the Midwest. But that's also probably really expensive, and there's probably a reason why they haven't done it.
Well, there's so many questions to owning Disney, because you'd be super wealthy. You'd also be powerful, and you'd probably be a household name, famous yourself already just by being that far.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of tail end of it. I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those things. I'm sure there's something you do, but like I'm trying to think of in terms of like what are they doing wrong, and for the most part, like they do a very good job with a lot of their things. Like, I mean,
I would probably want to hang out with a bunch of celebrities. Use that leverage at first, so that would be. It wouldn't be like a money thing or power thing, but that would be cool.
Yeah.
To like just be able to text random celebrities at any time.
Yeah, I mean
That would be neat.
Yeah, there's a reason why they're so successful and they have so much money because a lot of the things they've been doing has been working.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll just be like, okay, so what you guys been doing? yeah, let's keep doing that. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but I mean, okay, now speaking from a fan, I'm like, let's make more Marvel movies, but they're
Yeah.
going to do that anyway.
There's already a lot of those already.
I know. Like, I don't really know. I mean, I know some people had some. I know like Disney owns Star Wars now. A lot of the diehard Star Wars fans didn't like the newest Star Wars movies and stuff like that. But I'm like, who cares?
Would you make yourself? They could CGI you into every single role
Yes.
of a new superhero
Yes.
franchise.
Yes.
You could be every character.
I am the new Luke Skywalker.
And really, you wouldn't even have to show up. They could just like scan your face with some fancy technology to put you in every role. You wouldn't
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do.
Deep fake a whole movie. You could
Yeah.
be the entire Avengers cast. Every character.
Yeah, man, I'll just make movies. That's what I'll make a movie. That's what I would do.
I would hang out with celebrities for all. That'd be neat. Amanda?
I would figure out a way to cut costs, even if it was my own pay,
Mhm.
to pay my employees more. I don't know what they make, but I would pay them more.
Yeah.
And make that experience for people who go there less expensive. Because it's a lot of money to go
It's a
to
premium
Disney World.
brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I heard a rumor, like Disney World, that they unleash like a bunch of cats at night to like fend off all the rodents and stuff like that. I wonder if that's true. Have you heard
Weird.
that?
No, I've not.
That they like, yeah, and like they say like random, like for whatever reason there's like a bunch of cats.
Well, like Disney World is built on swampland.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple documentaries talking about the construction of Disneyland versus Disney World. There's a lot of interesting things. The one that stands out the most is a hole in Disneyland. Part of Walt Disney's vision is to have pretty much a world cut off from reality, right? So you don't see any of the unpleasant parts of stuff. But the problem they had is things like bathrooms, trash cans, characters walking out of places, all these things that are hard to have a convincing illusion when, like, if you don't have, like, where do characters walk out of? How do they get there? How does the person get there? The costume, the whole deal.
Yeah.
So, like, they learned that lesson from Disneyland. Fast forward, like, 20 years to Disney World, they have a whole substructure. So, like, trash cans don't empty in that trash can. They go underground. There's a whole underground labyrinth of stuff to get around. So, characters, workers, trash, supplies, all that go around. So, like, that's why they just, like, pop out of a door, because they went underground on some, like, tram. Pop up, you're right there. Back in the door, down and out, and trash cans never get full because they go downstairs. That like people, it's the whole. And like we went to Disney World in 2020. We're going again this year in the winter, so a while away. But it is a very convincing like premium experience. It really is. Like you don't see trash on the ground. Like you go to most amusement parks, you see trash here and there, some more than others, but you're not going to find anything. Like you don't find like a spilled soda on the ground. You don't find anything. It's nuts.
So they stay on top of things.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Also, if they lowered prices for tickets, more people would be able to go, and really it would counter. They would probably make more money because lower income families would be able to give
they
their
would.
family that experience.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to hit that from a different way because they reach park capacity most all the time. So it's not like they can't sell enough tickets.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They oftentimes are at a capacity.
Yeah.
So it's like why it's the business side of it. Like why lower prices? We're already at capacity.
Right.
But it does price out a lot of people, and I think some better way to address that would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, growing up, I got to go to Disney World one time, and it was because my grandma took me. So, you know what I mean?
Like, how
Like,
old were you?
I was 10.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I loved
Yeah.
it so much. God, it was so fun.
Yeah, because I went as a kid, so I was probably like 7 or 8 the first time, and then I went again as I was probably like 8th or 9th grade, like a strange age at that time for Disney World. And then I guess we also went when I first got married. But going with kids is a whole different thing because it's like such a strange combination of like nostalgia, like a ride I did as a kid, which is still there, and you're there with your kids. Like I remember it was by far, like we all were saying, like the most fun like we've had on a family trip.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would think, oh, like it's kids have a lot of fun there, but you have a lot of fun as adults too.
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah.
I want to go.
Me too. Again.
Right. That's the first thing I do. I'd just go to Disney World.
Just
Yeah.
go hang out in the
Yeah.
park.
Yeah.
Just walk right in.
VIP treatment.
Yeah.
High
Yeah.
five everybody and then just keep walking. Mhm.
Cut to the front of the line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we ready for the next one?
we're ready.
Okay, so the next one is, what was the worst thing your guests did when they took make yourself at home very literally?
Like bad house guests.
Yeah,
kind of thing?
if this has never happened to you, what would be some examples of taking that too literal? Like, what should you not do when someone says, make yourself at home?
Poop in somebody's tub.
Yeah,
That
that's a
happened
good
to me.
start.
But I was young,
Yeah,
and it was a wild party.
who would even do that in their own home?
That was probably on purpose? Like
I
as a,
don't
like a
think
prank kind of
so.
thing? Or like, oh my god, what am I gonna do?
I think it was an accident.
Well, that's better than on purpose,
But
but still
still.
sucks.
Yeah.
It was
It's like an upper decker. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
There's so many puns I can throw right now, but I'm gonna.
That would be
refrain.
pretty rough. Yes.
Yes, and then I'm trying to think of. Oh man, I don't really know. I feel like anything like setting up their own like Netflix like profile on your account.
That would be terrible.
Like just starts.
Probably like surfing like child porn on your network and your devices. That would really, really suck.
Yeah.
But at least you would know, and then you could just call the police. Be like, look, man,
That's true.
this person
Maybe,
is
yeah.
dangerous.
You call the police right away because you don't want to look like you're looking at that stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, for sure. And, yeah, I feel like this is just so easy to answer that it's hard to even come up with examples because it's like almost anything. Like if they go through your pantry, like they look for like.
I would probably say steal from you. That would
Steal.
probably
Yeah.
I go through your pantry every time I come to your house.
Okay, maybe that's a bad example, but like,
I
no,
don't
see,
mind.
there's different things like, I don't know, I'm trying to think, like, okay, for instance, I have like a candy bar, usually that I have hidden, that I save for, because I'm just a weird guy, that I will save for a special occasion, like, I know I can eat that Snickers whenever I want, but there's a time
set aside for the
that
special
I
time.
want to eat that, whether it's while I'm watching a show, playing a game, Friday night, very specific time.
You go there and it's not there.
Yeah, and then I mean,
Yeah.
my own son is guilty of this. You know, like, he takes "make yourself a home" way too literal
Right.
when it
Yeah.
comes to like taking stuff like that or whatever. And I have a rule, like with my son, I'll be like, okay, just because we have cookies here, because we have it, that doesn't mean because everything here is yours. You're right, blah blah blah. But that doesn't mean you can just open that package whenever you want. You gotta ask first.
And don't stash them in your room.
Yeah,
And everybody's
don't-
like, where'd the cookies go?
Yeah, because it's a household, it's a communal thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just don't just help yourself and have the whole thing because he will eat the whole package
Yeah.
before I even know. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be on top of him for that.
Yeah.
Do you think that, so in your house, just that phrase you said kind of caught me. What is it, like everything here is yours too?
Well,
Like from parenting structures, that's all over the place. Is there a thing of like, no, you don't go in there, you don't touch
No,
that?
I'm
Like,
talking like kitchen
Yeah.
stuff where it's like a communal
Yeah.
in the house thing where it's like, you know, the bathroom, like soap. Everyone can use the soap. Toothpaste.
Yeah.
But lots of food, stuff that's in the fridge, like, you know, but like that's also kind of misleading because it's not always true. Like example, my Snickers or like cookies. Like you need to ask first. You know, and
Mhm.
I feel like that's a really good thing to just teach that they need to know that you can't just assume that everything is for the taking. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You just don't assume things. You always ask first to be on the safe side.
Right.
So when he is staying at someone else's house, say, and having a sleepover or whatever, he knows that like, I need to make sure this is okay first.
yeah.
It's
Mhm.
just manners.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, but and then he's like, it's my cookies too. I'm like, no, it's not. I bought those cookies.
Yeah.
Get a job.
Right. But anyways, I'm trying to think of other things. Make yourself too. Oh, maybe sleep in your bed. Like before, like they're like, I'm going to sleep, and then they go and get in your bed.
You're like,
yeah. Yeah. Like, what?
Right.
No, you can go to the couch.
yeah.
Trying to think. Jeez. it's
Walking
just-
around the house naked,
Yeah.
make yourself at home.
Yeah.
Yes, using all the hot water during a shower.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's a good way to make somebody upset.
Yeah.
Inviting people over.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
horrible one.
Yes.
Inviting
Yes,
people
you're
over
right.
without clearing it with you first. Even if you're living with somebody, if you're living at someone's house or whatever, that's still their house. You need to like make sure it's okay before you have
Yeah.
company over. That's always no one likes people just showing up unexpectedly. Like
Yeah.
it's like, why is there so many people in my living room? I didn't ask for this.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's like when it's right after work, you want to go home and relax and like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because like the weekday you is probably different than the weekend version
Yeah.
of you. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like when you get off work, you just want to go home, relax, blah blah blah. It's a whole routine. Don't mess up the routine. When people mess up the routine, it's never good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else we got?
The next thing, okay, is homeowners. What are some things you wish you knew before you bought your first house?
First house. You're a first time, well, maybe been there for several years,
Yeah.
but your opinion could be interesting as not a bunch of houses to look at.
Yeah, I wish I would have known to just always have an extra room just in case you have another kid. Like always have and one extra room than you need just in case you have someone living with you in the future.
Yeah.
Always, because you never know. Not just kids, could be your parents. They might want to move in with you someday. You have people that need a place to stay, good friends and stuff like that. I feel like I wish we would have accounted for that. You know what I'm saying? Versus us like, oh, there's only 3 of us. We only need with me and my wife, and then just my son. So I was like, 2 rooms. Two rooms is enough. We don't need anything more than 2 rooms. And then next thing you know, you have a baby, and then there's no room, and then now you're in the housing market. But then you got to fix up your home to sell your home. It's a whole thing. So
It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Amanda, anything? Homeowner's perspective?
How difficult it would be to get help from the water department when your pipes burst or your main line bursts
yeah.
and they have nothing to do with it.
That it's on your whatever. Look at some criteria of how close it is, or some, but your meter or something like that.
And,
Meter
and then how far it goes out into the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, and ours is right on our property, and then it's probably 500 feet we had to get replaced. And they're like, nope, it's your problem. And I'm like, okay, well, what about this water bill that we're gonna get? And they're like, nope, that's your problem. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything.
Because you had a sewer.
Yes,
issue,
I had a
right?
similar issue
Yeah.
like that, and it ended up costing us a lot of money to get replaced and stuff. We had to dig up our yard and everything. That was a mess.
Because of tree roots,
Yeah.
People have to be so careful too when they
Well,
plant
and
stuff.
then we have an older home, and so we had clay pipes that easily, not easily, obviously they lasted for a while, but in time, clay pipes do collapse, and then it will cause backup issues into a home if you have clay pipes. But that's what happened with us. That was our case. And then roots go through them, they penetrate them easier, and it's just a whole issue.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It makes you wonder. This might be just pouring salt on an open wound. But when you guys moved in, did you think you got the camera sewer inspection thing? A lot of you can't get that as an inspection on stuff if you want to.
Yeah, that was always an option. We always did that, and then we would always have our lines snaked and stuff like that. But really, that is just like a Band-Aid on the problem. It doesn't really fix it. It helps you then and there for a little bit, but then in a few months, next spring, fall, when it starts to rain a lot, it just comes right back. So it's just that's why I kind of wish we would have known about that moving in, and we would have just addressed it right away before we had all this water damage in the basement and stuff.
Your basement will flood sometimes, right?
Yeah, it hasn't in a while since we got that fixed, and it's actually helped out a lot. And then of course we had to create a whole new line for our washer to go out the back and stuff like that too. That's also added to the cost. But anyways, I don't think anyone really wants to hear me talk about my plumbing issues. But water hammer. Did your pipes have a lot of water hammering? I wish I would have known what that was.
I don't know what that is either.
Yeah.
That noise you make when your pipes start to rattle. When there's too much water pressure in your house, pipes will start to rattle like
No,
that.
I don't
And then
have
it
that.
causes them, eventually could cause them to burst if you don't get it dressed right away. And then,
With a water pressure regulator.
yeah, and then it could be it could be that, or sometimes the water heater will have too much pressure, and that will cause. And then, or sometimes you just need to fix the guts of your toilet too, because sometimes the flapper doesn't really work, and it starts sending flushing water without anyone even using the handle. It just starts flushing water a little bit at a time, and when it does that over and over again, it's constantly sending water through your lines unneeded to. So then you get water hammer because it's too much water for the pipes to handle. But anyways, I am not a plumbing expert.
Water pressure regulator, not a, you have one of those?
No,
I'm
I've heard
not
about
looking
it.
into that. We have one of those. We had that on this house and the last house.
Mhm.
And that's real nice because you can control that PSI for that very reason. If there's like a surge in like city water or something,
Yeah.
you don't want to be jacking up like your pipes or your appliances or anything like that.
Right.
Because that's the exact problem that can happen.
Yeah.
And of course, when we first moved in, we're about 2 years into the house we're in now. It was turned down real low, and it was really kind of frustrating because we had like no water pressure, like for showers and everything. So then I learned the opposite way because I tried to slowly open it up, like not to do any damage, but to make it more usable. And most like a righty tighty, lefty loosey, right? So you open it a little bit, and it wasn't getting any better; it was getting worse. And I was like losing my mind. And it turns out, then I googled online that turned it the wrong way. Well, on that one, you have to actually screw it in, which I figured it would like close on some hole.
Yeah.
And you screw it in, which would be, but it was the opposite of that.
Yeah.
And then it was fine. But I was losing my mind. Like it couldn't even do a yard sprinkler. It was it wouldn't
Oh
rotate
my
back and forth.
Jeez.
It was frustrating.
Yeah, but you'll know it when you hear it. If you have it happen in Waterhammer, you'll know it because it's loud.
I feel like I've heard that sound, not in my house, but like I know what you're
You've
talking
probably
about.
heard it. You might have heard it in my house.
Maybe.
Okay, it happened in my house, but like it's loud, and you're gonna wake up. And you're like, it really does sound like there's someone hammering like a door or somewhere, and it's just like a loud knocking noise. It's
Yeah.
You'll know it when you hear it.
Yeah.
We had on the last house an issue. They called it a water surge.
Mhm.
Probably similar because we had the water pressure regulator, but like for once in a while, it would just lose the pressure of water for like a couple seconds. So you would hear it, and then you hear whoosh, whoosh, switch up real loud and then hit the gunk because the regulator would catch it before it pushed through stuff.
Yeah.
We heard it like once a day for like 2 months.
Dang.
Oh, geez.
And then finally, the neighbor called the water proof. Oh, we're getting this, and they took care of it then.
Yeah, I've looked it up, and chances are our issue is our toilet, and we've always had issues with toilets with the guts and stuff like that. And I just looked it up. Most times than not, it's usually just you just need to switch out the guts in your toilet, and that's like the flapper just needs to be replaced every once in a while. And then most of the time, that helps out with that.
I would say, you guys ever hear the phrase when you're trying to lose weight, if it tastes good, don't eat it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to appliances, if it looks pretty, don't buy it.
Yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
get all these pretty appliances and look real beautiful, and they got celebrity endorsements and all this stuff, and they last half as long and cost twice as much as the
Yes.
regular cheap version of things.
Yeah.
That's one thing that is frustrating
That's a
because
good
we have
one.
like a new fridge. We've had to have the whole ice maker. It's 2 years old. The whole ice maker replaced already. Some coolant thing a couple of years ago, like a year ago. Things that are ridiculous. I feel like there's fridges that would run like uninterrupted for like 20 years. Like what? And like a year in, oh, this is broken. This is
Yeah.
broken. $300 to replace your ice maker. The whole thing's busted
Yeah.
like a year in.
I feel like
Ridiculous.
the more parts something has, the more
Mhm.
can go wrong. For
The
sure.
prettier it looks as an
Yeah.
appliance, the worse
Mhm.
investment it is.
Yep.
If it has a celebrity next to it on some commercial, it's a bad idea.
There's a celebrity endorsement.
Yeah.
Don't do
It was
it.
our washer and dryer.
Yeah.
That was those Samsung ones, which had Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard talking about like the Samsung stuff, and then we ended up getting those. We had to replace our old ones, and those are the ones that were randomly exploding. Remember, it was
Oh,
making the
geez.
news like some washing machines were exploding in people's houses. So we got the recall, and they did whatever they did to fix. I don't know what they did, but they came out and took care of it.
Yeah.
But it's a good lesson. Don't trust Kristen Bell or Dax Shepard. I'm sure they're fine.
That's
They
it.
didn't know they'd explode.
Right, they're nice people.
They
Right.
seem to be.
They probably don't do their own laundry. Stop it. Or-
It's hard to say.
It
Yeah,
is
they're
hard
like
to
they're
say.
all down to earth, but it's a celebrity world. It's a different world.
Yeah.
Wealth and privilege just
Mhm.
breed a different type of lifestyle.
Yeah.
How would they not? I'd probably do the same thing if I were them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. I don't want to do laundry.
Yeah.
No.
For sure.
We got anything else?
Yes.
One more.
One more, and that is, what's an American state you hear the least about in the news or media? Like, what's a state you just don't ever hear anything?
Anything
This one
about?
got a lot.
Idaho.
Idaho. Yes.
I was gonna say like Montana.
Yes.
Yeah.
Montana's a good one. I feel like Vermont and New Hampshire, and like I don't hear
Mhm.
anything about those states. Apparently, I mean, they're real people. I mean,
I think
obviously
they're real.
People live there. I mean, but you would never
It's a
know.
conspiracy.
You would never know it. What is
Government
it?
conspiracy.
Like that old,
Vermont.
yeah, they like that old Garfield joke to like, you know why Wyoming doesn't exist? And they're like, why? And they're like, well, have you ever met anybody from Wyoming?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, like there's boring states. There's places like California, New York, and Florida. God, Florida man, Florida woman.
Florida man.
Like they're in the rounds all the time.
Yeah.
But some states you never hear anything about. Yeah.
You know, that's probably a good thing. Because, like, you know, when news is just usually just bad news driven. Like, bad news, definitely more bad news than good news. I mean, we've gone over that before.
Yeah.
So maybe those are, like, good places to live.
I would be interested to see a comparison of the population of a state compared to like national news headlines that states. Man, I bet they're related. I
Yeah.
bet like the more people, just the more stuff you're gonna end up with.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like 1,000 acres
Yeah.
of farmland, then a whole lot's gonna happen there.
You see that with sports. Like, there's more than just 3 football teams, but don't tell ESPN that. They're like,
Right.
no, we got the Cowboys and the Patriots, you know, and we got
And probably the Buccaneers, right? Tom Brady.
Yeah,
The one team and quarterback that I know.
because Tom Brady's on the team.
Yeah.
Before Tom Brady was on the team, nobody talked about the Buccaneers. He made kind of made them relevant
Yeah.
with the mainstream news. But yeah, I get that with baseball too. Like it's like the East Coast teams
Just
or
a
the East
few.
and the West Coast teams you only heard about.
Do you think it's like the market size,
Yes.
the famousness of the players?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
market size. It's like, yeah, because like, what team are you going to cover nationally? It's probably going to be from like a New York team or Los Angeles that has the most amount of people.
Yeah.
Probably most likely going to care about what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That makes sense. Well, anybody got anything else to add? Episode 6, The Daily Crew?
No.
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you for watching and listening. TheDailyCrew.com. Check all the Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. Thank you for watching and for listening.
I'm okay.
Yeah, Amanda's okay.
We can get